Hello there. So one of the things that I'm really passionate about is the human connection. Is that human to human interaction can be magical sometimes. And I have connected that to a mentoring relationship because mentoring is a human connection. And when you meet people and you feel their soul, you see eye to eye, and you really get to experience their expertise, their story, and their being in full, it's a totally new experience. Humans are not designed to interact over video, interact online. We're not designed for it. We're designed for human connections in the real world. The fact that even this video is coming online is an advantage to learn from anyone, anywhere, and get access to various perspectives, but it should not end there. So I wanted to share a conversation that I was having with my daughter. She started her job in the middle of the pandemic. So from day one, her job was virtual. She never got to meet her colleagues, never got to meet her manager, never knew what the company looked like. There was no opportunity to bump into new people at the water cooler. The company did whatever they could to catalyze those interactions through socials and things like that, but all online, all virtual. And what I could see over the first year to 18 months, there was a strong sense of missing that human connection. She wasn't feeling appreciated. She wasn't feeling that people know her true strengths, that people even know her. They just know her as a resource, as somebody who's working on a particular project, but not who she is. And she would always tell me that I really need to get to the office. I need to meet people. I want them to know who I am. I want them to know that I'm an artist. I'm a singer. I love to create new things, let them to know my creativity and so on. But there was no opportunity for it. Because when you're all interacting virtually, you just have to focus on work and get work done. And I have talked about this to all HR leaders, people leaders, managers. It's very important to engage the human behind the employee. I've written about it. I've introduced the idea of Ravi's hierarchy of people versus what has been talked about as the pyramid, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That, interestingly enough, when I did some research, it was introduced in 1948, right in the middle of the World War, or just towards the tag end of it. And it's so old. We still have needs, but everything we do cannot be driven by needs alone. So I introduced the idea of a theory of inspiration, and the hierarchy to understand is the full human being. People do based on the work and based on the skills that are required to get a particular job done. But more than what they do is people know. They know more than what they do. They may have skills personally or from the previous jobs or from some courses they have taken. So they know more than what they do, because it's impossible for us to apply everything we know in our regular job. Right? So you may be a great cook, you may be a great singer, you may be a great project manager, but today the task in front of you is to help with a whole different project. So you always know more than what you do. The level above is people are. We are bigger than what we know, and which is more than what we do. And then we also have dreams. Our dreams are bigger. People have, if you really pin them down and ask them, they will share with you some of the big dreams that they have in their life. So knowing your people beyond the job is extremely important to inspire them to create a sense of commitment and a sense of belonging to the organization that they're working for. So this conversation was going on, and about a week ago, they actually had a company party. And finally, she got to meet a lot of her executives, her seniors, and colleagues. And her initial mindset was that I will just go and spend 10 minutes and come out. But she stayed for a full 3.5 to 4 hours. Everybody appreciated who she was. They got to see that she is a singer, she's an artist, she has a hobby business where she produces, home decor kits. She's on TikTok. Her artistic skills are valued. She has been interviewed on the podcasts. So suddenly everybody in the company knew who she was as a whole. Until now, it was about what she did. But now they also got to see what else she knows and who she is and what her dreams are. Now, as a leader, if you know these 4 levels of your people and you really pay attention to it and do whatever you can to address all the 4 aspects of your people, the amount of commitment they will have to you, your organization, is going to be mind-boggling. So she was coming back from the company event and saying, "Oh my goodness, I just love this organization. I love all my leaders. They just were so amazing. They were joking, they were laughing, and it was just an amazing, it was complete 360-degree turn in terms of what she thought versus what she experienced." So I wanted to use that as a catalyst for us to think about. Don't make all your interactions with your people just work. I call it have growth interactions, learning interactions, human interactions. The conversations cannot be always about work. We launch a Zoom call or a Teams call or a Google Meet and just get to work. Just for simple mannerisms, we might say, how is the weather, how is the family, and then get to work. If you do this through the week, that's when causes disengagement, frustration, loneliness, nobody cares kind of thinking. But if you allocate time, whether online or in person, allocate time to get to know people and create more growth conversations, create more human conversations, create more serendipitous conversations, spontaneous conversations. Conversations is the key. The more people get to know one another, the kind of bond that they will develop, the kind of trust that they will develop is just beyond anything you can do through a manual or a big poster lying in the office. It has to be felt. Human beings are inherently experienced people. We are emotional. And every interaction has to touch our emotion, has to touch the soul, in our human. And if you can catalyze such kind of interactions, and which is what we do at some of my work at Mentor Cloud, is to catalyze those human interactions. Human to human interactions is what creates that glue, that creates a strong human fabric on which your team, your organization can stand strong. So it was a great experience of what I've been talking about, and to really see her and her team, both of them being completely enlightened, completely excited, completely ecstatic about who the other is, just through spending some time together and not worrying about work, worrying about anything outside work, and getting to know one another. Because we bring your humanness to work every day. You can't separate the human and the worker. It's impossible. It's like the body and the heart. You can't separate it. Body comes with the heart. So an employee comes with the human inside them. And if you don't pay attention to the human, it is like a doctor not paying attention to the heart when they're looking at the body. So leaders, engage the human behind the employee and see the magic.